Hey, what's going on out there, boxing fans? Look, we're coming back to finish up the weekend wrap. We went 2 hours last night, um, and I'm back again. We were delayed about an hour. I watched the end of the tennis match and didn't want to be distracted while I was doing my show. So I'm definitely ready now to go ahead and finish up this weekend wrap. Also, I definitely want to touch on Stephen Fulton. Yeah, he been getting into it with fans here recently in regards to Aleem. He's very annoyed that people are asking Aleem to fight him, a guy that comes uh, on the channel regularly in D Hive, and him got into it. Um, was because he was just saying, "Hey, Aleem deserve a shot," which is basically I said the exact same thing, especially in regards to Danny Roman got a shot last time, and I feel that Aleem is at this point in time in his career is above Roman as a opponent. But Fulton is his career. He got every right to do what he choose. But as fans, you got a right to say who you would like to see a person fight because we're buying the fight, and so we got a right to just voice it, And so we're gonna talk about that on tonight as well. Um, Getting a little later start. I normally start at 7, and here we are at 9 o'clock. So that's good. That's perfect timing, though. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely ready to touch on that and get that started, man. So we definitely gonna wait. We're gonna have a few guests come in and speak with us because I didn't really have a start time tonight because I was watching the match and I didn't know exactly when it was gonna be over, and so I'm just deciding now to go ahead within 5 minutes to start a show. So hopefully everybody got the memo and I'll be coming on real soon. I'm gonna put the in the chat. I'm gonna put the link up in case anyone is listening and just want to come in, slide in, and talk with me, and and say what you feel in regards to this boxing thing, because everyone's opinion is valid. If I disagree, that's fine. Because you may disagree with me, but we can do it all, with no arguing, fussing, nothing like that. It ain't that serious here. So you won't be hearing any shouting matches going on with me on this show. Now, if somebody get rowdy, that's on them. But yeah, so we definitely got a couple things to touch on. Also, the WBC has went and made the Andy Ruiz as a semifinal eliminator, and they want Deontay Wilder to be in the other eliminator against Helenius, and then the final eliminator would be Ruiz versus the Helenius or Deontay Wilder winner. I mean, at 36, 37 years old, Deontay Wilder is, um, look, belts are good and they are important. But once you get to a certain plateau in your career, I mean, you don't have to fight title eliminators. Have y'all ever seen Floyd Mayweather fight a title eliminator? I have, but it was earlier on in his career he fought those. And later in his career, he fought no. If it wasn't a title fight, it was fine with him. He'll just go right into a regular fight, a la Mayweather Marquez. So it doesn't have to be. But that's going to be Deontay Wilder's call because he can just fight Andy Ruiz in just a regular fight. It doesn't have to be for any title or any eliminator. He can just say, "Hey, I want to fight Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz want to fight me," and it can just go on like that. So we're going to definitely talk in regards to that and discuss that. Anybody in, like I say, just come on in the chat. If you want to, come on up. The link is up and it's ready. I'm ready. Definitely ready to talk some boxing with all the boxing fans out there, man. Definitely. So we're gonna discuss a little bit of that. Also, Michael Fox, the one that was robbed of the fight that was in Minnesota in the WBA fight, where it was just blatant cheating, is coming back, and he's gonna fight the Mean Machine. So that's a good fight coming back for him. We can talk about Fox and the Mean Machine, whose only loss has come against Virgil Ortiz and Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford stopped him, knocked him out. Ortiz knocked him out. Bud did it first. Although he did put Bud down in that fight, they didn't score it, a knockdown, but that's what it was. But he came back, avenged the knockdown, and knocked the guy out. So we'll definitely probably discuss that a little bit. Probably won't spend too much time on it because it's going to be coming up within the next month or so, but we will discuss it. Also, we got a big fight coming this weekend, all women's card in England. I believe it's going to be on, I'm not sure if it's going to be on regular ESPN or ESPN Plus, and that's the Clarissa Shields against Savannah Marshall and Alicia Baumgartner against Michaela Mayer. We'll be making our, choices tonight on who we feel going to win, our predictions. And I've been seeing a lot lately that people get upset in regards to, if you make a prediction of who you think going to win, you're hating on me and things like that. And I really wish fighters wouldn't do that, especially with regular folks. If you're a reporter, announcer, whatever you are, you're just a regular person. You're just a fan. So no one should get upset in regards to a prediction. That's what it is, a prediction, But we're gonna make our predictions tonight on those two fights. Yeah, I feel that it's gonna be some fireworks this weekend. I can't wait. Because again, Baumgartner and Mayer has been going at it. Clarissa and Savannah Marshall been going at it. So man, it's gonna be a big day. It's gonna be a big day on Saturday, and it's a lot going on Saturday. With the college football back, tennis will be ending. Like it's a lot going on. So I can't wait to finally see that fight because the buildup has been great, especially this week. This week, these guys have really been going at it. They've been going strong. I mean, Mayer and Baumgartner today was going at it and calling each other a dog, and then one say I'm the top dog. So it's just getting crazy. I want to see it. I definitely want to see it. I'm excited for it, man. Very excited. But yeah, so everybody come on in. Come on in. I am ready to talk some boxing. And we got our first guest, Steph. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man. Sorry about yesterday.
No, man, that's fine. That's fine. I see it, you got a new pickup, which that's your mother, and you got you see Santa Barbara, right?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
I like that. I like that. How
Thank
you
you.
been? How was your
I'm good.
weekend, brother?
It was good. It was my birthday. I turned 33 this
Yeah,
past
happy
Saturday.
birthday, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. That means a lot. That means a lot
Yeah,
coming from you. It
yeah,
wa- it
yeah.
was it was good, sir. Peace and blessings, man. It was good. I got to do everything I wanted to do on the list. My coworkers came down from where we work in LA because I live in Orange County. They picked
Right.
me up. We went to a local lake and fished all morning, and just shot the stuff. Came back home, and nothing more I want to do than make a space and start talking about boxing. So
Hey, well, that's what's up, brother. And I'm gonna tell you, man, ain't nothing like having a good, nice, peaceful evening, man.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And what's up, D Hive? D Hive is in the chat tonight. He said he gonna have to be in the chat. That's fine. You're here. That's all that matters. You're here. Oh, Cleb, he went out. Yeah, D Hive, I'm gonna talk about that chat that you had with Cool Boy Steph because that's really important, man. That's really important. We're gonna talk about that first while you in the chat. Steph, I see you went out for a second. And listen, before we get on to the topics of the Andy Ruiz fight and what we saw, we got to discuss this because D Hive is in the chat, and D Hive was in a little Twitter battle, not with a fellow Twitter guy, but with Cool Boy Steph.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, and I have to speak on that because I think he said folks get so offended when you ask them to fight somebody black. First Tank and now Fulton. Uh, let me say something, Steph, and D Hive know this. This is something I was trying to convey to Art Man and to everybody I've ever talked boxing with since I got on Twitter. Just trying to throw my years of expertise out there. Man, let me say this, bro. Um, Black American fighters don't like fighting Black American fighters. It ain't just, top rank, when people said top rank had that list of the no black zone, black fighters be having the no black zone sometimes. And I think that Aleem is pretty much ready to fight for a world title. And if he can't get MJ in the ring, Stephen Fulton and Aleem are both with Al Heyman and the PBC. That's a no-brainer fight. Because if I'm not mistaken, Cool Boy Steph just beat Danny Rahman, right?
Right.
And Aleem, in my opinion, is a better fighter at this point than Danny Rahman. And I don't see anything wrong with a fan on Twitter that wasn't even talking to you, went and said, "Hey, I would love to see Aleem and Fulton fight." And Stephen Fulton went into his went and started messaging him and was real offended because this guy said that he wanted Fulton to fight Aleem. He was real offended, got upset, told him he don't know boxing, that all these guys are the same. And when
Really? Cool Boy?
yeah, it was real shocking. It was Cool Boy Steph. 100 billion is his Twitter, and I know that that's his because I follow him. And he had sent me a tweet before I sent him one, so I know it was him. And it was kind of out of character, and he's been out of character in this situation. I've never seen him like that, so he's very annoyed with Aleem, and I don't know what it is, if they got bad beef or if he don't want to fight. But what's your thoughts just hearing it without actually seeing it?
I'm very annoyed. I'm really, really annoyed, man. Mainly because first off, I'm a boxing fan.
Right.
And then if you really want to bring it up, I'm a black boxing fan. Not that I don't really think that matters up until I'm trying to make that matter. But I say that thirdly, or I say this nextly, because look, there are black boxers, there are Asian boxers, there are white boxers, there are European boxers, there are Spanish boxers, Mexican boxers. The list goes on forever. So this is really nothing new in terms of like reinventing the wheel or anything. I understand it and I get it, and then I don't get it as far as black fighters not wanting to fight other black fighters. But just overall annoyed, man. I mean, we really gotta go through this, I guess. But
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then for Cool Boy, yeah, is out of character. I've gotten to interview him via Chicken Talk. I got to talk to him for a whole almost 3 hours, man.
Mhm.
He answered all of my questions with a
Right.
smile. So that's a little bit odd. And then if I want to back him, I mean, this is a part of his pool of business of boxing where he gets to decide who he wants to fight. Uh, you
Facts.
know, in hindsight, given the last 4 and 5 fights that he's fought, he could say it's a nice run, meaning it's a tough run, and it
Mhm.
wasn't easy. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go this route. So there's that, and then I would conclude with, look, I am. You've heard me say this a lot. I want to be current and I want to be consistent, good, bad, and ugly of boxing.
Right.
Aleem has probably fought 3 eliminators. In my mind, in my opinion, he deserves a title shot. Cool
Fact.
Boy, you are a champion. Defend your belts, brother. So,
Facts.
uh, if you can, pretend he's not black, but he's black. So,
Facts.
fight,
Yes.
right? And that's what I
Um,
think about it, Jay. That's what I think about that stuff
and-
because,
yeah.
and then, yeah, I've or yeah, nothing new here. Nothing new here. But the fact is, Aleem is due a title shot. You guys are aligned in the same PBC stable, the same
Mhm.
division. So I mean, let's get it cracking. Let's get it
Yeah.
on.
And last night I was talking with
And I'm sorry
Sakura.
about D-Hide too. I'm sorry he had to.
Yeah,
You know,
man, because
that,
D-Hop
that
is a
those
true
real
fan
fast,
of
Jay,
him. Yeah, go ahead.
real fast, Jay, like those situations are just, man, tough, man. I think I think you know this, Jay, about me, that I do a lot of reflecting. So when I have, and here I go, good, bad, or ugly, situation with somebody, it definitely replays. I'm pretty sure it's like that with anybody and everybody. Um, but you hate that he has to go through that, and I know he was feeling a certain type of way about that. So
And
yeah, go
D-Hop
ahead.
said, "What's the likelihood that the MJ fight actually get made?" LOL. Well, I'll answer that for you. Um, I think it's very slim, and because we've seen cross promotion fights, but we haven't seen too many cross promotion uh unification fights under 100, under heavyweight. We haven't seen any of those. And I think it's very I don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't think that Fulton's gonna fight MJ. Also, I was speaking with Sakura last night, and I had cut her off uh, in order to, and D Hive, that's Boxing Playhouse. She came on last night, and I had cut her off. I didn't mean to, but I did, in regards to this same subject about Fulton and Aleem. And she was saying how, somewhere around the fact of, it's his choice, which it is, and some other things. But I was like, no, he has to fight Aleem because, first of all, Aleem has went through like Steph Clevery said, and that was he's went through 3 elimination fights, including this fight where he fought a guy 25-1 that had looked pretty decent in the last PBC outing, and he beat him up with no problem. And I've seen Steve Fulton go through the same route before he got his title fight. Cool Boy Steph was a lean. He went through a lot of tough guys. None of them world beaters, but they were all tough. Some of them were undefeated fighters. Cool Boy Steph fought guys when he was 10-0. He was fighting fellow 10, 11, 12-0 guys. He made it the hard way. Aleem did it the exact same way. And I'm gonna go even a step further than what you said, Steph. And I'm gonna say that we owe it to our race and to our people to give them an opportunity when we've been given opportunities. You understand? We've been given opportunities in life because someone, and in Cool Boy Steph's case, Al Heyman believed in him, gave him a platform. And yeah, Fulton did it with his talent, no doubt about it. But in this game, we've seen that you can't make it off of talent alone. You're going to need an assist. Somebody going to have to throw you an alley-oop to get your dunk off. You're not going to just jump from the floor and get your dunk with the ball. You're going to have to get an assist, an alley-oop, because in this game, the promoters run the game. And he got an opportunity, and I feel that he should extend that same opportunity to Aleem and make a pact. Or if he's not going to fight him, which is fine, I think that he'll vacate a belt and then Aleem will get an opportunity. But I just feel that at some point, you know, like Mike Tyson say, and I bring this up all the time. When Mike Tyson told Charlo, we have to make a pact as black brothers to fight the other black brother, because this game,
Right.
yeah, you know, he said that. And I believe that. He said, if you care about humanity and people, then care about his family by giving him that fight. So that's my opinion on the Cool Boy Steph and Aleem situation. I had to jump on it because D-Hive was in the chats. Did you want to add anything else, Steph, on that?
Just you stole the words right from my mouth, man. A couple things, just how you broke it down. Just that's basic integrity.
Mm-hmm.
If you borrow some money from somebody, pay it back.
Pay it back.
Borrow their rake, give their rake back. Why are you creating problems? And then secondly, yeah, man, all fighters, man, all of them, they need to make, yeah, I was going to say the elite guys, but no, all of them make a pact and say, we're going to fight each other.
Right.
I mean, that's what I would hope that would be about behind closed doors fighters only meeting. Like that needs to be talked about. And yeah, when it does come to the elite guys and we're talking about millions of dollars, yeah, man. Yes, man. Like if he earned that spot to get there in fashion, please do sign up for that. Get that man some money.
Great.
But that's all if they agree to that meaning, they make that pact, Julius. So
I agree that they have to make that pact. And there's always people that go against the grain and say, I don't want to get too deep, but in life there are people that feel that they should only look out for themselves or their loved ones, and that everyone else can fall by the wayside. The only thing that I have to say is I don't live like that. And that's me. I don't think like that. Yeah, I would want to beat you. I would want to knock your head off. But I also know that you deserve an opportunity. Look, no matter what a boxer says, even if it's a mandatory, you give other people opportunities. But you can't give someone that looks like you an opportunity. And I'm not calling Cool Boy Steph anything. I'm not trying to portray him in any way of not showing any blackness or nothing like that. I'm just stating that sometimes we'll get caught up in a situation and he feels right and he is right. He can fight who he wants. But at the same time, I think that this guy, Aleem, has earned that opportunity. I don't think it's going to be just given to him. I think he earned it in the ring.
I agree.
So
I agree. I call those people the bootstraps people. They pull yourself by your own bootstraps.
The bootstraps. Yeah, that's right. He got it. Aleem definitely did, man. And he put on, and I'm glad we talked about him. So now we can move into the fights on Sunday night. Sunday night. That I didn't get a chance to talk with you about, and that was Aleem. He started off the show. Actually, Charles Martin started off, beating Vargas, who really is a part-time boxer at this point. But Charles Martin, recovered from the Ortiz fight and scored a knockout. And then Aleem came on Fox Sports 1 and beat up Pinata, I believe is the name,
Yeah.
from the Philippines. What did you think of his performance on Sunday?
I caught the tail end, like the last 3 rounds.
Oh yeah, that
but,
was. Tell me what you saw, because the first 7 looked like that.
He just looked like, for me, he just looked like, because I missed the whole thing, man. So for me, he just looked like, I don't want to say regular old Aleem, but he looked a lot better from his last outing, and just more on his toes,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got a kind of a reckless, cautionary tale because he's so awkward, his type of heresy, but overall he just looked concentrated and looked at a faster rate from what I saw his last outing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I am going to go back and watch that, though. I am going to go back and watch it. And I also missed all of Mr. Martin. I didn't get there until, believe it or not, Ryu. So that's when I started, and I watched the entirety of it after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much with the Martin fight.
Right. Of course. What is he? How big is that guy, by the way?
I think Charles Martin is like 6'5". He's like 6'5", 250 something. Whatever he weighed in at, on for this fight, I'm not for sure. But he's normally in the 250-ish range. 6'4", 6'5".
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
He looked kind of slim to me in the highlights. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, he was a little lighter for this fight, but normally he's in the 240, 250 range. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He gave a good account of himself. And I think that Charles Martin would have fared good against Andy Ruiz too. Martin only situation is, and I mean, he actually did something that Ruiz wasn't doing. He was outboxing Ortiz. But, like it is with the heavyweights, man, it take one shot and, and it could change the whole night. But let's get on to the Rayo.
Oh man.
Against De La Santo, which a lot of people are getting that mixed up. They think that this guy just took this fight on
Rayo. Not like out this at all the process. No, I'm breaking up here. One sec.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Julius?
Yes.
Pretty well?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Good. I was gonna say this before I say that about Ryu. To me, right now, I don't think there aren't any like out this world prospects where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like remember when Virgil and Boots and then we're coming up, Devin, like all of them were great. It was even hard to rank them, and I feel like Boots is just now even getting some of that love he was always getting, but like now he's like truthfully standing out from the crowd. But but back to it, there aren't any like out this world prospects where I'm just I'm just salivating for at the mouth. So, but I am high on Ryu. I like him a lot, actually. I like his game. I really like the camp that he's in and his coach, the Benavidez camp. I like that he's up there in Seattle or even in Phoenix with the Suns. And I've been a part of some streams here lately where they're kind of throwing a little shade on Valenzuela and the Benavidez pairing. But anywho, so I like him there. And what I mean by that, you throw a little more fuel on the fire. I think he's going to be a complete boxer when it's all said and done, where he's going to have some good facets to its game. And what I liked about him coming even into this fight, or even his last 2 and 3 fights, is that I'd seen him in trouble. He's a boxer, so I'd seen him in trouble and get out of that and fight his way to a decision. I get real impressed with guys like that. I like the knockouts. I love the knockouts. Don't get it twisted. I love the knockouts, but there can only be like 1 or 2 major knockout artists. So other than that, all good. So when he comes into this fight, he gets, it's right there. He got beat before he even knew it, man. I mean, he got beat down before he even knew it. And that's all she wrote, man. Like, I don't really care, but
He actually had some good spots in that fight.
He did, but he was already hurt and he never recovered. And you know, let me say this too. I thought this throughout the telecast. There was some good refereeing throughout that. Like I wasn't complaining too much, and specifically this matchup because I don't know if the ref knew him like that, but he definitely helped the young man. Where he was like, "Man, I ain't gonna let you get embarrassed like this and get your bell rung." That's why he stopped that fight. It was slightly premature, but you know Ryo. The guy, his mind was somewhere else, and his body was in the ring taking a beating. So he was like, "Yeah, let's get this." So sometimes you got to give up the day so you can get tomorrow, and that's what I saw right there.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think, and since I like his crew so much, he'll bounce back, man. Not only that, he's a top prospect, and he's also in a tough division. Like there's a lot of guys like a Ryu, you know. You know, it'll be another 18 months before someone in that class really stands out, only for Shakur Stevenson to come up by then. So it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, that's definitely, you know. And my thing was this.
What did you think? Yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, he had some good spots in that fight. I think it's some technical issues that he's gonna have to address, and that is what I see with a lot of prospects or just fighters in general. Is that when
they say prospects on this?
Yeah, prospects and prospects, contenders and champions. Some of them, when they're getting their stuff off, is not responsible. They're not looking at, oh, he's gonna be firing back at me.
There's no tempo.
So
there's no tempo. They just want to control everything.
They just want to, he got to learn to relax, slow down a little bit. And the other thing, Steph, that I think you've heard me say before, fighters have to learn how to break fighters down. You have to break a guy down sometimes before you run in. And he I think it was a lesson learned. He can come back. You know what I'm saying? He can definitely come back.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, man.
The road.
He's a good fighter. I don't want to say that. I was going to say that, I really like him. I like his chances against Keyshawn Davis. A lot of people would laugh me out of the room with that, but it's the style matchup, and it's his completeness that I like. It's not necessarily his pop and power and things like that. No, I just think he's a good boxer, man. I think he knows how to get in and get out of there. But like you were saying, you don't have to learn how to break somebody down. You have to learn how to break somebody down there.
Which this is what Keyshawn need to be doing as he
same thing.
Same thing. I mean, because to me, talent-wise, he's ready for a guy like Comey, Pedraza, you know what I'm saying? Even the guy Corrales, the guy that Villanueva was about to fight, the former champion. But it's a learning experience. You hate to learn and lose, but that happens. Let me get Checkmate in here.
Word.
How you doing, Checkmate?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Checkmate?
Good.
Man, Check, I've been thinking about you, man. I had a space the other day, and we started talking pound for pound. Actually, it wasn't we. We were just talking boxing, and then I said, I'm about to go there real quick, Julius, real quick. I just said the Leo Santa Cruz win for Tank is better than anything that our current pound for pound number one has on his resume, and the earth blew up, man. The earth blew up.
But it's true.
Actually had it is. But they had a problem with that, man. I mean, these dudes, and then, I broke it down to him. I said, look, man, what these guys are doing at this level up here is just more impressive than what they're doing down there. That's not a diss. That's no beef, and that's no shade. That's real, man. Mm-hmm. That's real. Because if it wasn't, we'd be talking about them and not them. So, I'm just, and then there's so much to that Isaac Cruz talk where I'm just like, all right. I told him, look, if their rematches were to go down, put Gervonta number one because he had knocked this guy out in his rematch versus the number one guy knocking his guy out, a 40-year-old in a rematch. But the reason why I brought all that up is because every time I get into those type of conversations, I think about you and that video that you shared with me, because that stuff is it's just too much, man. It's too much now. It's too much. It's too much for me now. I can't even. But people are walking around here believing that stuff. Check. That's crazy.
Checkmate. While I got you on and you're talking, man, break down to me what you felt about. We was just talking about the Rayo fight, and I saw you tweet on it, and I end up getting in trouble with some people on Twitter for calling fighters tomato cans and cab drivers and Uber drivers. So what did you think of the Rayo fight? Check.
Some technical.
Yeah, I think he been telling me that his I don't know where, what I know he in the Phoenix area, but I don't know what type of reception he got, but it's pretty rough there. But yeah, man. So Steph, yeah, I got in trouble about some comments that I made in regards to calling fighters Uber drivers and cab drivers. And although I didn't call any particular fighter a cab driver, Uber driver, I was speaking around the matchmaking. And the reason I bring it up again, and I'm, beating a dead drum, but yeah, prospects, man, you gotta like the way that the PBC matchmakers are matching the prospects up against one another. Something that I would like to see Top Rank do is to match the prospects a little bit harder. And I know that they're getting ready and they're building their careers, but it never stopped those guys from Eastern Europe and Cuba from fighting tough fights in 5 or 6 fights. And a guy like Keyshawn or Shakur, their amateur career equals or is greater than any of those guys from Eastern Europe or Cuba. What do you feel about that, man?
I feel the same way. And just lastly, why? Because I had this conversation last night. Look, American boxing is international boxing.
Yes.
Shakur Stevenson and all those guys grew up fighting guys from other countries. Literally, yes. The amateurs, the Golden Gloves, the Nationals, they're as an amateur, and then you fast forward, to the Olympics, and then you fast forward some more. I'm pretty sure if you go through, I'm going to use Shakur for the example, all those fights that I was hating on that he ain't fight nobody. I'm pretty sure there was Mexicano, an Argentinian, some dude from Russia, maybe. I could be wrong on that, but everywhere is what I'm saying internationally. So right. I'm just like, yeah, man, get this work. Get this work, man. Get this work. You've been doing it all your life, especially if you've been doing it all your life. You should go ahead and get it, man. But you said something else that rings my bell. Yeah, I love the way, and just using Rayo for the example, he fought that guy on short notice, a week's notice. Same thing for his competition, De Los Santos. He came in there because he was ready. Samson got him in there and got him ready. He took an advantage and knocked that dude's cerebellum off.
Right.
But I think Rayo's ready for that. He did look a little jittery, in that fake vest that he had on. But he I get it. I get it. And your head's just got to be screwed on, man, for any and all action. Protect yourself. But I like the way they put him in a situation. I like the way Jesus Ramos is coming along. He's going to be a big boy. The only one who even Brandon Lee, that showed where he's at. Not that I was really crazy about him at all. I'm only crazy about him because SoCal rep. But after I'd seen him a few times and then seen him live, I was like, oh no, yeah, he's got a lot of work to go. And that's before that recent knockdown and then come back with the W.
Hey, Chick, are you back, sir?
Yeah. We've been, it's monsoon season here, so we didn't have a storm today, but the last storm we had you see, just internet connection is all really whacked out around here. So a lot of flooding and all that
Gotcha.
stuff. So
Well,
don't know
go
what's going on,
ahead.
but I'm
Yeah,
back
go ahead.
momentarily.
Yeah, go ahead and break down the Rayo fight. Um, you know, and what you felt in that regards.
Okay, what I said again about Arroyo is a lot of people, they've been hyping the guy like, oh, he's the
Mhm.
next big thing. He's this, he's that, right? And what
Facts.
my comment was, listen, allow these guys to grow organically. You do not have to prematurely,
Mhm.
artificial anoint him just because the media
Yes.
is hyping this guy. If you enjoy his
Right.
skills, watch him. I've been watching Tank since he was an 8-0. I knew from the first time I saw him what he was going to be, but I didn't say at 12-0 he's ready. I didn't say at 10-0 he's ready. I didn't say at 15-0 he's ready. But when it was time when he was ready, he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Same with Gary Antoine Russell and so forth. Allow these guys to. Same with Boots. Allow these guys to go organically. So when he got knocked out, to me it wasn't a surprise because you see guys with power, but they also have a lot of flaws that can only they can overcome with growing, with maturity, with experience. And it takes a certain level of experience to kind of hone those particular skills. So only thing I said was, hey,
Okay, it went out, but I get where he going with that, man. And and listen, uh, checkmate is right. Um, we can't artificially anoint guys. It's gonna happen organically, and organically is happening in the ring with winning fights. That's why I'm not, I want to see more of Xander Zayas. I gotta see more of him. I gotta see him fight anyone with a heartbeat. Reason I bring him up is because Joey Spencer fought on the undercard. And I sent out a tweet after Joey Spencer won, and I said, right now, Joey Spencer is a little bit ahead of Xander because he fought better opposition. I said,
I've
but
seen that.
yeah. And I know that people didn't like it, but hey, look, a lot of times, and this is the other thing, artificially anointing comes with a lot of other things. And I'm gonna let Checkmate come back in and talk.
Real quick, Julius.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Uh,
It's okay.
I'm not high at all on Xander.
Me
You
either.
know, I'm really not. But the only encouraging part for me coming to him is that, look, man, that guy's really young. And to both, I believe, Check's point, you gotta let that guy grow. You gotta let him.
Exactly.
So fast forward
Organic.
to today, September, what is it, 7th, 8th,
Mhm.
7th. What's that? He's looked the best he's ever looked. His last fights, like his last two fights. Actually, forget it. His last fight, that's the best. Like, and I just looked at the highlights. Like, I think that's the best he's looked. But go ahead, Check.
Go ahead, Check.
Yeah, and I notice again these guys, they definitely like to artificial anoint, but that's because they're taking these talking points. People
Right.
seem to can't think for themselves. They like to regurgitate part of their, you know what I mean, their take, and I just don't get it. I'm an independent thinker, but I just see the group think mentality is like, what I mean, is rampant on Twitter. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, but go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, for me, I love skillful fighters. I like to watch them grow. And you know what I mean? I'm never one to just push, I see somebody one time, that's it. Y'all gotta remember when Berlinga was coming up, when Berlinga, it was like
Mhm.
8-0, 10-0, 10 knockouts. They were, this
Right.
is it. They were getting so much play, and I did not
Right.
understand why.
Right.
I'm like, okay, like, but I just didn't understand. Like, allow these guys to grow, and then when you see them, you know what I mean, do their thing on the next level, then just take it there. And in the same token, like I said, we talk about Gary Antoine Russell. You know what? He's 16-0, 16 knockouts. Nobody talks about him. You know, Boots. I was arguing, you know, with reporters on Twitter from Boots when he was 25-0. Nobody. I said, why you guys aren't mentioning Boots? You guys keep calling him a prospect. I'm looking at skills, and apparently none of these guys want to fight him. But you can clearly see at this stage he's not a prospect. In the same token, they say, you know, they'll say something like, T.O., you know what I mean? T.O., and I said, when I say T.O. was a 15-0 prospect when he fought Loma, I said, well, you know, well, he got a belt. I said, a belt does not mean that you're not a prospect. The way when you grow out a prospect, it's like getting comfortable with your own skills. You're racing against your own a belt from beating a subpar individual. Charles Martin was a champion. Okay, enough said. So, you know, I'm just a big, you know, proponent in allowing these guys to grow in their, you know, in their own skin and not like pushing them based on what the general consensus is from the media. So, Arroyo, let him grow, let him come back, let him bounce back. Stop putting these expectations on him. You know what I mean? If he's good, the cream is gonna always rise through the crop. So this is not the end of him, but is it the end of y'all hype train for him? Well, that remains to be seen.
I agree.
Nicely put, checkmate.
Yeah,
checkmate.
Hey, let me put it. You checkmate him because I agree, man. And to add on to what you're saying is that it's easier now for a prospect to be a champion because it's 4 titles that we recognize. If it was 1 title or even 2 titles, I don't think a prospect would have a belt almost at any weight class. But now it's so, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's easier to get a belt. And so then, like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
But Julius, real fast, you can take a route.
Ahead.
You can take a route. Is what you're saying. You can take a
you
route.
Can
you can go one of the 4 routes.
Easier route. Yes.
Right.
You got shortcuts. Hey, what's up, Ronnie Bravo? You could come on in, brother. I'll open it up for you. But you got easier routes to go and do this. And then once you become champion, even my man Devin Haney, I love him to death. I think that he'll beat Lomachenko. I think that he's the number 1 lightweight in the world. But when he won his belt, he was able to take defenses that he normally would have took. He would have took those fights on his way up because he was still kind of developing as a champion, you know, and it happens more in this era. And now he's the undisputed champion of the world. So, you know, and like you said, checkmate, it's because of T.O. Was not ready. And then Kambosos beat him. And so for Devin to get to be the undisputed champion, he had to go through Kambosos, and he did with flying colors. So you can understand what I'm saying now when I say also I want to address checkmate is off. But Clip,
yeah, that's okay.
Steph, again, man, before we had got, check it came on, I'm not necessarily, again, calling guys out to be disrespectful. But I think that we have to acknowledge guys' level, Let's acknowledge their level. Like we watch basketball games, and if I don't care if it's LeBron James, if he's 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 12 from the 3-point line, everybody in LA gonna say, man, LeBron's playing like a scrub tonight. But that doesn't mean that LeBron is a scrub. We know that. It's just he's one of the best players or the best player in the world. It's just that on that night he was performing like a scrub. But let me let checkmate back in.
Right. I'm with that too, Julius. I'm with that too. Where that's just that's why I'm just like calling it as is. And you've heard me say this a lot. I'm just current status. I'm up to date. Like I'm not trying to. Meaning what? Slow down. so I can see what's going on really, rather than what Czech was saying. And we're really gassing these guys up, blowing them up, hyping them up. Not necessary.
I agree, man. I agree. And like you say, man, artificial anoint, that's one of the best words that is on boxing Twitter right there.
Oh,
Artificially anointed.
Oh, by the way, when
Make
he
me
jumped in
think
my
about
space,
first when they say that. Yeah, go ahead.
When he jumped in my, you see how crazy it got? You see how crazy it got?
What's that now?
I was saying, when you jumped in my space on Saturday, you see how
Oh,
crazy it got?
God.
You see how fast that was? You see how fast
my
that was?
God, man. And the anger. Them
Oh, man.
Yeah, like Leonard Ellaby had really did something to him. Like for
Oh,
real.
man.
Like
You see how personal it gets, though? It gets
they get personal.
Wait.
Like I might make a comment, but it ain't another person on the end of the comment. It's an open, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just saying it. But these people go at people and name them by name and talk nothing but trash, lie on them, hate on them, and it ain't even necessary, man.
I know,
it
man.
ain't even necessary. And a lot of times, you know, the one dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I thought that he had a cape on, a hood on with the eyes cut out. He was a brother talking about Leonard Ellaby.
Yeah.
He went hard on him.
Yeah.
Like to the point he was so unhinged you couldn't even calm him down.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. That's my boy. I know, man. It's been like that the last like 3 sessions that I've had, and he's just come in on a different rocker, brother. And I'm just like, dude, that's not even what we're talking about. That's not what we were aiming for. That wasn't the interest. You're way out of left field with that. Not even, man. Like, talk about we build a boxing ring, they will come. Like, man, you came out of nowhere. Like, I know what you mean, man. I know.
Yeah, like you say, he reaching. He was.
Yeah, man. He was reaching.
Beyond reaching. He became unhinged. Hey, but you know, I'm gonna tell you something though, Steph, and I'm glad Checkmate came back on. Me and Checkmate have been on a channel, and a guy was screaming at the top of his lungs, making death threats and all type of stuff. And then the crazy thing was he must have upset one of the Twitter police because they pulled up information on him. Come to find out, the guy just came out of prison, was on the sex offender list. So, you know, I only said it to say this, man. We have to be careful who we talking to up here because people, you know, they'll become unhinged, man, and you'll see a side of them, and you'll be like, "Whoa, where did this come from?" Because LB triggers that with these people, man.
It's what it is, and we're not even talking about boxing anymore. So what we're talking about is just selfishness. Because I do this too. I'm not perfect, sir. I do this. I feel a certain type of way too. Ego, man, and just wanting to control that and wanting to control how someone else is thinking about it so much to the point to where, yes, it comes off unhinged. So I get it, and then I don't get it. I will say this though, and for your listeners, man, this is why I had to recognize that and really get out and only come back when necessary. This Spence Crawford saga, man.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is that it has accelerated things to where, like I said, man, it's like people are talking to me personal, man. I'm like, look, man, I'm just telling you how it is and how I see it. Why are you talking about to me and crazy to me like I am slap your mama or something, man?
Yeah.
I've said nothing of that nature to even get you on this level. And
I agree.
So, you know, and instead of getting mad about that, yes, sir, I try to take the high road. So what can I do? What's best for me? Get out of that situation. I can hear my dad yelling that in my head right now. Get out of there, man. You can't control this. So your best bet is to leave.
Man,
That's
your dad
the
is
long
a
and short
smart
of it.
man. He's a
That's
smart
the long-
man because that's what I was thinking. I was like, man,
And I saw you. I saw you get out of there, man. You're like, man, I can't listen to these. You said, I can't listen to these
I hung
fools no
in there
more.
for a
I can't
while.
listen to these fools no
But
more. I can't
this
listen to
guy,
these
man,
fools
it
no
was
more.
just, I mean, the level of richness, if that's the word.
I
If
tell them
that's
all the time too. I'm like, look,
the
man,
level of
whatever.
richness.
Right. And I tell them all the time, look, man, everything I'm telling you is public knowledge. You've been knowing this. You just don't want to know it.
Right.
And I'm just rehashing or reminding you about it. And
Right.
you're just,
Exactly.
you're not having it. And I get that. And again, Julius, like, I'm guilty too, sir. Like I'm explosive and I've said things but this is where Nika comes in. And I thank that lady so much. Love her, my sister right there, man. When I started coming over to her YouTube, she was one of the proponents and allowed me to come on her platform. And then I met you, and you know, we had to run to each other. I had to slim into you guys' crew, and I thank her for that. And coming into that, I realized, hey man, this is the conversation I want to have, and this is Chill Wave. So when I go back over there, I always got to put my helmet on, man. I got to put my helmet on and be ready, get the trash can shield going, and be ready for the smoke.
Yeah, and I always thank her too, because that was the first, you know, I just had lived in my bubble, my boxing bubble, and I had my few boxing friends I would call, and all of a sudden one day, I'm gonna tell you what happened, Steph. This is a true story. I just upgraded my cell phone.
Right.
Upgraded my cell phone, and I was sitting there one day, and I said, you know what? I want to go to Twitter. And that's what happened, man. And that's what I said. I want to go see what they talking about. And that's how I got on. And I ran across her show on a Friday night, and I just did it at the StreamYard, went up there and just started talking. I was a complete nobody. Nobody knew me. I just started talking and stayed up there with her for hours, because I just like to talk boxing and sports in general. So I ain't got a problem with it. But when I get people that are going unhinged, I mean, it was like a dude got a show. I'm not gonna, say his show name, but I like that guy. But I had to back out of his show because you had people calling me names, and I was like, is this boxing talk or this street life? You know what I'm saying? You people don't even know me, but that's craziness. It get crazy. And like you said, don't bring up Spence against Crawford. That brings that out of him.
And then another thing, man, because we're talking about it now, man. And Jules, I know you know this about me. Man, I don't like when. Not that I don't like, but yeah, I don't like when we get on all this racial stuff. Not racial stuff. The stuff. Okay, prime example, because that didn't sound right. Prime example, like, oh man, you taking from the black man. Oh man, you holding out, or oh man, you like basically racist against your own folk. And I'm like, make that make sense. Like, how did you come up with that? Like, I'm just like, dog, man. And the reason why I don't like it is because you and I can't handle it. No one can handle it. No one can handle it. And it just comes off so, like, I'm gonna use your word again, unhinged, man. And I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah. You become unhinged.
Speak about this when you know something, man. But I'm not gonna be coming at you if I don't know it. That's why I don't like to get on things like that, because you're old enough to be my father, man. I have respect for
look, hold up, not quite. I would have to be a real early almost.
All right, scratch that. Scratch that.
Technically, I could, but I would have been like a 12-year-old, something like that. But yeah, go ahead.
Man, I love the elderly, man. You know, my parents taught me that. That's in fact, the elders run the church. So when I was growing up, I was always around, my parents, mostly my mom and her friends and relationships, things like that. But anywho, respect, man, and wisdom. And our parents and their parents really went through some things, man. Really went through some things that I will never have to deal with. And I don't like playing with how they grew up. I really don't like playing with that, man. Like, that's not cool.
No.
I mean, like that. Now I've reduced them to the single letter words. Like, oh, there go that R word, right? You're saying racism. They say coon. They say coon so liberally and habitually now. I'm just like, man, hold up.
Right.
Like, I'm 33 today, man. Like, I'm just saying we gotta be careful, man.
You gotta be careful. And let me say something, brother. You know, from looking at my Twitter, you know that I'm into the race.
No, I know how you are,
but you can count on your hand how many times you see that coon word, because to me, I saved that word because you got to be a special somebody to reach that level. You get what I'm saying? Or you can reach it, but it's a special level. You just don't call everybody. And also, let me say this: everything ain't racial.
Right, that's my point. That's my point.
And I'll agree with that. Everything in boxing ain't. There are some that are, and people choose to. And Ronnie said, "Happy birthday, Steph."
Thank you, Mr. Bravo. Appreciate that, sir.
And
thank you.
Yeah, and a lot of people, don't want to believe it or catch it. And I know the moments to catch it, but everything ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes this is gonna hurt some people. Uh-oh. There are gonna be times that a black fighter get knocked out by somebody that ain't black. And it's not gonna be cheating. And it's not gonna be cheating, and it ain't gonna be some sort of
it won't be cheap either.
Controversy. He just got beat up, a la the last fight that I saw, Anthony Durrell and Benavidez. Good, got people calling folks Uncle Toms and never read. Exactly. Uncle Tom wasn't even what you perceive him as. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't even it. So there you go. People calling Uncle Toms, and that's actually a compliment. Right. Uncle Tom was a stand-up guy. It was the Sambo that was, you know what I'm saying? But that's getting too deep. But hey, Ronnie Bravo, though, I'm talking about that's Sambo. You know what I'm saying? That's Sambo. That wasn't Sambo. Was the the so-called coon. It wasn't Uncle Tom. But anyway, we'll get back into boxing. But boxing sometimes can carry you to them,
but it's the ego, because you want it. People want to take it there. Man. They want to take it there.
That's testosterone, man.
And that's kind of why, that's why if you, I dabble when I host my own spaces, because I shut that stuff down. Like, man, if that's what y'all want to talk about, get on out of here and go start your own space. That's not how we're getting down in here, and some people just want to do it. But anywho. Back to the box.
You're absolutely right, though. All right, let's get to the fight. Let's get to the main event real fast.
Wait, real fast.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you see the Izar Cruz guy fight?
Yes. Let's get to Cruz. I was gonna say Cruz for last because of all the Tank Davis stuff, but let me go ahead with Izar Cruz.
Okay, no. Let's skip him, because all I was gonna say about him is that they're Yeah, let's say it for last. Let's say it for last. It's good. I think you'll like it.
I want to talk about him last because we're gonna go into Tank Davis, and Tank Davis is one of those triggering moments, and and we had certain people here, they would become unhinged talking about Tank Davis, but
I know, man.
Andy Ruiz against Ortiz. What was your breakdown of that fight, man?
For starters, I liked it better than the AJ Usyk rematch, for starters.
Right.
But it had some lulls in there, and I think that's because of the guy who I remember I had Ortiz winning. Ortiz was outboxing him, and he was really in the man's head. But The only thing that really stood out for me is that I was surprised that Andy couldn't put the old man down. He kept getting up from those knockdowns. That's what was surprising to me. So I don't want to be like, oh, you know, this is boring or anything. It was just surprising that it kind of was, but, you know, Ortiz was right there, man. He was beating. Did you see Andy's face at the end of that? So
yes, I did.
He was in the mix, man. He was in the mix. He was just, I think, you know, I got in trouble for this on my own channel or whatever I want to say, wherever I want to say it. You can't say how old someone really is.
Yeah,
that guy's 47. That guy's not 43. He's 47.
Yeah,
man. So,
yeah, or 50. Like, let's be real about it. But sometimes people don't see. This is what these shows are for. To be honest, this is what these shows are for. I don't work for Fox. I don't work for CNN. I don't work for ESPN. You know,
right.
I can throw out my true feelings. Okay. And my true feelings is, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's going to be hurtful to others. And I don't understand why it's hurtful to say someone, you know, aged. You know what I'm saying? Bernard Hopkins, when he was winning world titles at 48 years old, he never said, oh, I'm actually 39. No, he said, I'm 48. I'm 50. You get what I'm saying? And he still went out there. Like Luis Ortiz, I get it. He did it because he wanted promoters to deal with him coming from Cuba. You know?
Yeah, right.
That's it. Baseball players do it all the time. All the time. We find out a baseball player in his 10th year isn't 31, that he's actually 35. We find it out all the time. Or that hot shot prospect that say he's 18 or 19 is actually 22. And all these guys don't come just from Cuba. They be coming from Dominican Republic too. And see, that's or Venezuela. See, so I'm just throwing out there facts that if a person is immune to that and don't really know, or they just watch boxing but don't watch baseball or don't watch the NBA draft and things like that, you don't know that they play these games like that coming from other countries. That's all. So yeah, speak on that. Speak on that if you want.
Well, yeah, and just, you know, we're just asking, where's the Social Security office in those countries? Or how could we ever get that information? And someone's like, oh, you know, you're being racial. I'm just like, no, that's legit. That's a real question. I'm not trying to be funny. What if someone wanted to know that about me? In fact, they do want to know that about me if I want to work in this country. So, yeah.
And when they ask for your birth certificate, you don't look at it as racial when you're trying to get hired for that job. When that job when they do hire you, they're gonna want proof of you. They're gonna want your identification, you know, Social Security card. You know, those are things that you get when you want to work somewhere. That's true.
Right. So
what's racial about it? Yeah, right. Yeah, but I'm just saying for those that are acting like it's racial.
Yeah, well, they just, you know, here I go with my dad again. You just want to be right instead of get it right.
Facts.
You just want to be right instead of get it right, and that stuff always humbles me in any situation, man. Or like it stops me from doing, you know, or making a bad decision because I'm just like, man, like I'd rather do this than just get it right, you know. Man, basic integrity.
Absolutely. It's like you got all these sayings from your father make me think about things that my mother used to say, man. I mean, she would say something along the way of ain't no right and wrong and ain't no wrong and right. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, man, just get it right the first time. And you wouldn't have these issues about any
problems.
Yep, no problem.
Like another example, like Canelo and Triple G3. Bro, that guy's like, he's like 46, 47 because the first time they fought, he was really 36, 37. Come on, man. So, you know, whatever. Back to the fight though, you know, so yeah, it was an interesting fight. I thought Andy's footwork, he needs to work on it, and I think that's just coming from the injury and you know, having these different trainers and not having one voice in his head throughout his journey since he lost his belts, and even that high of getting the belts, he hasn't been settled. He's just been everywhere, so that's on him. But
well, let me ask you this question. Andy Ruiz at the weigh-in looked a heck of a lot different than Andy Ruiz in the ring that night. And I'm talking about weight-wise. He looked like he put on 20 pounds between the weigh-in and getting in the ring. Do you think that weight has something to do with his lull in action and him getting just outboxing at times, just looking stationary?
Sure. But that's honestly the Andy I'm used to seeing, man. Andy who kind of plots behind it with his fast hands and with that, I was going to say jab, jab, bang, bang, jab, jab, bang, bang.
Right.
He'll come in, and if he's usually fighting a taller opponent, he shoots up with his shots.
Mm-hmm.
And he also hit that guy in the temple behind the head so many times. That's why I thought the old man was really out on his feet. I was like, he hit that cerebellum. You know the shot that Danny Garcia hit Mir Khan with? His legs came off from the bottom from under him. So like, I was really surprised to see another big man keep taking that. I was scared of that stuff head on. I always get when I watch these boxing, I see someone get hit in the back of that cerebellum like that, because the cerebellum is connected to your spine, your neck, and it goes all the way down your spine to your pelvic, and you know, your nervous system controlling your legs. So if that gets cut off, you malfunction from the bottom up. That stuff is scary, man. So that leads to a coma.
Yeah.
So that was surprising, and then the cliche excuse of it's his first time fighting a southpaw, a really tricky one too. But the same tricky southpaw that you fought, Deontay Wilder knocked out twice years ago, man. So
knocked him down 3 times too. 3 times and 2 knockouts.
Yeah, man. So, and the last one wasn't pretty, where it was like lights out, right?
Yes.
Legs were just done. He was hanging, like the top body was hanging over the lower. It was bad. So, and I think that's when he was really 43. But you know, and so let me get to this. Like, it seems what they're doing with Cruz, they're trying to do with Andy now. You know, Cruz hyping up, showcase him, and now all of a sudden it's Wilder fever for Andy Ruiz.
Yes.
And of course, I recently just heard that Mauricio Suleiman had some words for the winner of the Wilder Helenius matchup.
Right, the fight as a final eliminator.
And Tyson Fury, looks like me and Wilder are going for a 4 fight. Ain't that right, Checkmate? So, you know.
I'm sure Checkmate is getting a video ready for it. But I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, number one, I don't want to see Wilder Fury 4.
Okay.
I don't want to see it. I'm going to be honest. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't necessarily have to see a fight 4 times. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it was Roy Jones and James Toney or Sugar Ray Robinson against Sugar Ray Leonard. I normally don't want to see no fight more than 2, but the third fight was exciting, but I don't want to see a 4th fight. And also, Deontay Wilder at 36, 37 years old, I mean, that made 10 defenses in the heavyweight division. He shouldn't have to fight any eliminators. I would let it be known with the WBC or anybody. Like, if you want to make me a mandatory, make it, because I ain't fighting no eliminators. You know.
Well, I think that's what's very well going to happen. Let's just substitute the WBC out for a moment. Meaning, actually, okay. Before I say that, I'll say this. I always bring up Muhammad Ali because I'm like that guy fought a championship fight almost every fight, an undisputed fight every time.
Right.
For the situation, for the timing, and for especially when he came back. But I jive with your opinion. I respect that. I wouldn't mind it because, truthfully, to me, you know, I think this was your scream. I came out and said it. Look, man, Wilder beat him the first time, man. Like, I don't care what anyone says like that. Like, who's that? Was that Jack Reese, right? Yeah, that was Jack Reese. Yeah, he started counting way too late, and he gave Tyson Fury more than enough time to not only recover but get up off the ground when he should have been counted out. Yeah. Now some people may disagree with that and may ruffle some feathers, but what did I say at the beginning of this stream? I said I want to be consistent, good, bad, and ugly.
Right.
And I get it's a heap of the moment, but to me, Wilder won that. And then when he got up and did what he did, I said, oh boy, this is a draw. And what I didn't know then, I know now, Fury wanted a rematch. So there was always going to be a rematch regardless. He didn't have enough confidence himself the first time. So he rematched. Right. And then luckily, Deontay was smart enough to say, okay, cool. I'm going through all of this because you're cheating me. I want a rematch. And he tried to get out of that, and he postponed that. He postponed the second stuff. But anywho, I like what you said at the end of your point is that, look, man, Wilder don't got to fight no eliminator. He can be the mandatory to any belt, any of those belts. So I would love to see it. I would really love to see it. We got a nice top 10 of heavyweights, man. And at the bottom half, you could always switch out 2 and 3 people at any given time. So we shall see. But
yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. And like I say, I really believe that Joe Joyce is a true player, and the only reason more than anything is punching power, because in the heavyweights, man. If Luis Ortiz could have, if he had just been the 42-year-old Luis, he would have got some punches together and got Andy Ruiz out of there. When you're fatigued and you know what I'm saying? Like the heavyweight division, again, anybody can beat anybody on any given night. That's how I look at them guys. And that's all of them. I look at them as as equal. Except I'm not putting Dillian White and all those guys involved. I'm talking about the combination of like Joe Joyce, Andy Ruiz, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Those particular guys I think are, could beat anybody. And I think, and we've seen Anthony Joshua beat Andy Ruiz. So, so we could put him in the mix for that fight. Although I think the other guys beat him. But yeah, man. So, I agree with you. Go ahead.
I think only Tyson can beat Wilder, and Wilder can beat Fury. Only those 2 guys can beat each other. Other than that, I don't think the other guys can beat those guys. And it's strange enough about Wilder because, he can't box and all he's got is this and all he got is that. No, man, that guy is pretty dang good. He's pretty dang good. He's pretty dang good. And I don't think any of them boys can beat him, until he's said.
He got good ring IQ. People say something about he can't box, but he knows when to throw the right punches. He knows how to land that right hand. You say all he got is a right hand, so that should be easy to get away from, right? Checkmate is back. How you doing, Check?
I'm trying to hang on by a shoestring in the can.
You are, brother. Look, you came in, man. We was just finishing up on Andy Ruiz against Ortiz. What do you think about Ruiz and Wilder? If Wilder get through Helenius, if they should fight for, saying a WBC eliminator. Me and Steph said that, Deontay Wilder at 36 and after 10 defenses don't have to fight nobody title eliminators. Like if you want to make him a mandatory, he's done enough to be a mandatory. But what's your opinion though?
Okay, well, my opinion is first of all, I like both fighters. I like Ruiz. I keep telling everybody Ruiz will beat Usyk.
I like that matchup.
Yeah. That you know, we'll get about the overrated Usyk after I answer your question here. But you know, he's a good fighter, but they put the great label on people that just don't deserve greatness before it's time.
Yes, sir.
As far as that's up to if Wilder wants to be a part of the eliminating process, that's up to him. I like both fighters. I see Wilder knocking him out. But Andy could, cause he has the fastest, hands, one of the top 2 or 3 fastest hands in heavyweight. So if he get Wilder in close to those combinations, then that's it. But one thing Wilder has can neutralize that is that quick piston jab, that 1-2. And again, I just see if Wilder disguises that right hand, Andy's going to sleep. So I haven't really thought much on as far as whether it's right for him to, for your question, Julie, is as far as is he above the eliminator status process? But I do say this. Did Loma have to go through eliminator process to get all his chances?
How about Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather never had to. And I think that Oscar De La Hoya, I'm being honest, man. I think that in boxing, you can, and we've talked about this before in other conversations, maybe not even here, but other conversations. Guys can outgrow titles, just belts. I mean, Mayweather, De La Hoya, them guys were beyond a WBC belt. They were beyond a WBA belt. They did it because historically they just wanted to go down as a 11-time this or that. But actually, it was fights where they said, nah, we're not paying no sanctioning fees. We're just going to fight. And I think Deontay is close to that level. Or at least he at that level where if he say he want to fight for the WBA should sanction him as a mandatory or a special exempt, defense or whatever. Like when you dominate for 5 and 6 years over 10 defenses, bro, you've written first of all, you in the heavyweight division, if you do that, you're going to go down as a Hall of Famer. So that's number one.
That's my point.
Yeah, so a Hall of Famer shouldn't have to fight no eliminator.
See, like I said, Loma, Loma is supposed to be fighting for undisputed next. Why? We never heard him going through any type of eliminator. And right now he's the Continental. You all know that he's the Continental champion right now. Y'all know that he's holding some Continental belt and all this stuff?
No, I did not know. I'm not gonna lie.
I did actually. That's the one he beat Comey for.
Oh, yeah. He got a Continental title. That sounds like wrestling. Remember they had the Intercontinental and
that's what it is. He's holding the and we don't even discuss those fights in America. We don't even know because those are not world champions, so we don't care. Just like the Brits, the UK champions, and the British title holders, they get all happy for that rainbow belt.
The Commonwealth.
They get all happy for those rainbow belts. You know what I'm saying? But we don't care. You know what I mean? So this is the thing here. You got Loma could come back and say, I want to fight this right away. And then you got Fury offering AJ offer 2 losses to him, to fight for it.
Yeah, hold on.
But one thing
I'm still sick of that guy. You should have stayed retired.
And then I'm going to let you land your airplane. Check. Steph, I got a problem with Fury doing that. I got a problem.
He's a clown. I've been saying it, Julie. He's a clown.
I think he's 100% serious. He's serious about it. You know what I'm saying? About fighting AJ coming off those losses and a mental, you know what I'm saying? And mentally ain't right. He's serious. He want to stomp him while he down. But go ahead, Check. Land your plane, brother.
Yeah, like first of all, AJ would be dumb to take it. When I say dumb to be taken, because mentally he's just not there right now. Let him get some
Mhm.
confidence under his belt if he want to do that. But what do Fury gain off of beating an already broken AJ off of 2
Nothing.
straight losses? You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
Wilder's coming back. Wilder's got to fight with Helenius, whatever the case may be. If Usyk want to fight Wilder, then that's what I'm hearing. Tay Jones actually made a tweet and said, I don't know if y'all caught that.
No,
Tay
he
Jones
got
tweeted
me
today.
blocked for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah.
Okay. Well, he said,
That's weird.
I
Isn't that weird?
can't wait to see you soon, champ.
Yeah.
I'm glad you honoring your word. So that was the tweet that him to Usyk, and I put the little eyes emoji. Said, what's going on here? Because Usyk did say that he would fight Wilder, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted Usyk to beat AJ in the first place. Because I do not want Eddie Hearn playing, you know what I mean, dangling a carrot, trying to destroy and boxing again by him being in control of the heavyweight belts. So Usyk is a free agent, number one. So he's not aligned with any promoter right now. So if he wants to fight Wilder, then guess what? After Helenius, I'll take that.
Okay.
So,
All right. See,
go ahead.
Thank you, Jack. You just said it earlier.
I was saying,
Julius and I were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, Tay Jones definitely had me blocked. I have no reason because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know Tay Jones, and I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know him. I've never tweeted at him. I've never sent a tweet at him. And I don't talk trash about Deontay Wilder. Never have I talked trash about him. I'll be honest about any fighter. And that is for sure. I'll be honest about it. And but yeah, so I didn't see it. I'm blocked. I figured that out a long time ago. Champ side blocked me too. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never tweeted the guy. Nothing.
Wow, Julius.
Was happy about the success that he had because I've seen it. His YouTube thing. I've seen it before, but I've never tweeted at him. Maybe they seen me on one of them shows and just I said this before, Steph, and I'm gonna say this, Check. Man, coming from the area that I grew up in, I appreciate it, man. I'm serious. I appreciate coming from the South because you just, what I'm saying, man, it's just no better experience. And I'm talking about the mental and everything. You see a side of people and you can see that on people and other people can't see it. And all I can say is, man, the guy was in here talking about Sambos and stuff like that. Man, sometimes they come in all shapes and forms. That's all I'm gonna say. They come in all shapes and forms, and sometimes they say brother, or sometimes I've heard them say assalamu alaikum. I heard them say a lot of different things, but they come, they come in all different shapes and forms. But anyway, back to this, man. Usyk against Wilder would be a good fight. I want to see Deontay get some rounds in before he fight Usyk. I think he can beat Usyk, but I want to see him get rounds in. I want to see him get rounds, and I want to see him get back to his natural weight, about 217, 220, which he looked like he is, and blow Helenius out and then work his way in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I want to see at this point. Rounds, and then he can go straight into a Usyk fight because Usyk's not gonna fight him the way that he did Joshua. But we gotta make sure Deontay is right, and this is a fight where we can tell if he's right. All right away.
Yeah, yep. I think he's gonna be fine. Check.
I do. I think
I like him. I like everything that I've seen from him, man. And I recently heard that. Now he's going to start sparring. So, all beforehand was getting in shape and checking. He had been doing that for the last 50 plus days.
But Deontay said he did 400 rounds of sparring.
No, that was all just, I don't want to say, it was prep work, like road work and working out and,
gotcha,
and hitting the bags and hitting the pads and getting in
gotcha.
shape, Hence why he kind of looked a little scrawny like me. But you know, someone also said that, look, man, he needed the break. He deserved the break. He needed the break. That's why he's so happy. And I tell people this all the time. Look, man, that's the people's champ. It's hard to find someone who doesn't like Deontay Wilder, and even the ones who don't like him, who hate him, they asking about him, they talking about him.
Personable brother would take time and speak to every single fan. He's gonna shake every single fan hand. He's gonna take every single picture. When I met Deontay Wilder, that's what he did. He shook every single person hand. He took every single picture. You get what I'm saying? He took pictures and everything. Y'all go ahead and shoot. I'm gonna go off for 1 second, okay?
And he looks happy. You know, always smiling, his jovial himself, and doing his thing. So I it's hard for me to try to come up with a critique or even look for a flaw at this point. I think his weight will come back. I mean, he's older now, obviously, like you said, 36, 37, but when he fought Stavern, that body type, kind of that's what he looks like now to me, especially when I saw him in those pictures with Michael Hunter and he was hitting the bag then. I was like, oh man, he looked kind of like that. That's way old, man. I think that's 2014. But looking forward to it. Really, really looking forward to it. What's that? I'm kind of studying for words here. You're like someone. I think that was Checker saying he just needs to. No, that was you actually. You're saying he needs the rounds. So yeah, he'll get the rounds. All right, he'll get the rounds.
Yeah, just like Jules said, I think that the body transformation to the last fight, it was over 230, and you know they tried to turn him into a brawler. He does not have the body type as a brawler. He's always been a sniper and was 41 and over 40 knockouts as a sniper. And you know what I mean? So sometimes we could say, oh, he's not the best boxer. Okay, well, guess what? 40 men, woke up.
Hey, look, man.
40 men woke up from a sleep.
Yes.
And didn't question how great of a boxer he was.
Check. Let me add on to what you said. And anybody that got a boxing eye should be able to know this. If a guy knows how to knock a fighter out, that's a skill. That is a skill. No, you can score a knockout in a particular fight, but to do it every single time, that's a skill. That's just like a guy that is a rebounder, like Dennis Rodman. But every single game, he ended up with 15 to 20 rebounds. That's a skill, determination. Deontay Wilder knows how to line a guy up and put him at the end of that right hand with full extension, and he gets his knockout. He's smart. Look at what he did in the Speaker fight. He punched with Speaker, led him into a right hand that pretty much ended that guy's career. After Deontay hit that guy with that right hand, when that guy fought again, anytime somebody hit him even halfway hard, he would fall out. It was all because of that Deontay Wilder right hand. Look at what he did to Luis Ortiz twice. You know what I'm saying? The second one looked like he knocked his head off. That guy got a skill. But most boxing people think about skill. They think about a jab, body shot, footwork, da-da-da-da-da. But punching can be a skill as well. And it's God-given, but you got to be able to land it. How many punchers have we seen that can't land a punch?
What was that?
I said, how many punchers have we seen that can't land a big shot? But Deontay always find a way to land that right hand.
I was going to say every fight, but yeah.
Every fight. Even the second Fury fight when Fury was coming in to knock him out, he hit Fury with a hard right hand in that fight. So yeah, every single night. But let me ask you this, Checkmate. Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz. He looked pretty good Sunday night. Would you agree?
Man, he didn't fight nobody, Julius. That guy was scared of him.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Now people are putting him in this position where they almost are making Isaac Cruz a star. Now, people say that only Top Rank and Eddie Hearn market guys, but he's clearly market Isaac Cruz because they got people fooled that Isaac Cruz is a star after knocking that guy out on Sunday night. Do we want to see Davis Cruz too?
No, I don't. No, man. He got beat with the guy with one hand. So what? And then after that, he gets clout and they showcase him. Great. I love it. I literally do. I love that he beat up on Gamboa. He got pieced up in that because Gamboa is no bum. His older age, he just gets knocked out.
Right.
And then the next guy who he beat up, who was that guy he beat up? He beat up someone else.
Before Ramirez, right?
Yeah. Who was that?
I'm gonna do my research and I'm about to look that up. Let's see.
I could be wrong. It could be Ramirez. But
Ramirez is Sunday night, so we do know that.
But you know what though, Julius? Check.
Yes, sir.
Look, man, and I like Isaac Cruz. Don't get it twisted, man. I'm just not high on him. No. I'm high on him, but I'm not hyping him up like everybody else. Because what I see is
it's only been Gamboa and then Ramirez.
Okay, so what I see is someone coming in there with no footwork, swinging haymakers, bobbing and weaving, and he's really, really short. Like he's shorter than Tank, right?
Right.
So it's hard to even hit him in some good punch placement.
5'3", 5'2.5", somewhere around there.
But his footwork is terrible. His footwork is everywhere for me. And a real boxer who ain't afraid of that will get him up out of there. A guy like him will go out on the shield. That's the only way.
Oh, definitely. That I do like that about him. Checkmate. Do you want to see Cruz, Gervonta Davis too?
I do, but not right now. I would like to see Cruz headline. He's ready to headline his own couple of cards.
Right. Yeah, he is because they're showcasing him. So I mean, Yeah, you cut out.
How
Check,
about
we'll wait on you.
Okay, Checkmate left, and he coming right back on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, as you know, I like Cruz. Even before the Tank fight, I told people that I can't believe people upset Tank fight. This is a little killer. I said he was better than Rolly. I said he was better than Ryan. To me, it's some things that you got to watch. First of all, if you want to teach a boxer to get maximum leverage off a hook, look at Isaac Cruz, the way he torques his body. That's why when they called him the Mexican Mike Tyson, I see why he got that label. He gets every ounce of leverage on his hooks when he does it. You know what I mean? The way he pivots and does it. So this is a guy, small frame, 5'4", and everything else, but he comes with a lot of power. Like I said, I think he's ready to headline his own cards and let him headline 2 cards, and then I definitely do want to see the rematch because I know Tank can knock him out. But I also predicted before the fight that this could be Tank's Brian Castaño, and this fight could go the distance. See, I said this before the fight because what I recognize in this.
Yeah, you cooking, Check.
How you going to get in there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
How
Did
about
you-
Frank Martin Cruz?
Not yet, because I want this. No, this
Uh-huh.
because first of all, I like both fighters, but I think Frank Martin is probably the second best fighter at 135. I want to see Frank Martin is not getting his shine. His last fight, I gave him a man. You know what I mean? He wasn't defensively responsible the way he normally is. So, but I still want to see Frank Martin. Right, I want to give Frank Martin a couple of 2-3 fights, whatever, of doing some devastation. That way, people will be salivating for it. Isak
Give him
Cruz
Rolly.
and Frank Martin right
Give-
now won't do any, huh?
I said, give him
feed
Rolly,
Rolly to
Chet.
either one of them. Absolutely, Tank said that, and Tank tweeted out that he want Rolly and Cruz, and I see Cruz. I would see Cruz knocking Rolly out.
I want
See,
Frank
I
Martin
see
to do
things-
it. I want Frank Martin to do it though.
Yeah.
Ooh, I see things in Cruz. I saw things in Cruz before a Tank fight that people just not knowing. But now everybody's jumping on it. Oh, Tank's scared of Cruz. So now you're giving Cruz all this credit. Now you got to give Tank his credit, because I also said Tank's wins over Cruz and Leo Santa Cruz and Mario Barrios for the fact that he stepped up to 140 and beat a 145 for 10 140 champ is better than any win Loma has on record. You know what I mean? I'm sick of these bandwagoners keep talking about Pedraza. Pedraza was Tank's best win. No, it wasn't. Okay? Because Pedraza wasn't the most skilled. He was not his best win. He's not as accomplished as Leo Santa Cruz. He's not as rugged as Cruz. You know what I mean? And I again, he's people only reason why they say
Well, let me say
Pedraza
this
is
about
Tank's
Pedraza,
best win is because they want to they only say it because of Loma. Because Loma struggled with Pedraza and got the panda eye, so they want to diminish it for Frank for Tank.
Yeah, I think that Santa Cruz would be number one and Pedraza would be number two, because it ain't because of Pedraza and the Loma for me. It's because when he beat Pedraza at his best. Pedraza was at his best. He hadn't lost. Pedraza had beat Tevin Farmer. All of that. He had done work at 130, and Tank beat him at 130 when he was at his best, at his peak. And Tank didn't beat him; he beat him up and spit him out. So yes,
beat with a
that
belt.
is the second because of the way that Tank beat him and when he beat him. He beat him at the right moment. Anything else where somebody beat Pedraza, they're not beating the best version of Pedraza. You know what I'm saying? And Pedraza showed us that again with the Comey fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, both. I've said I think Keyshawn Davis should fight Pedraza next or Comey, but those guys are gatekeepers now at this point. They're straight gatekeepers.
Absolutely, that's the way I see it. But when I look at Pedraza, though, I never saw a guy above a C+ at his
Hold
best.
on, checkmate. Say Pedraza name one more time.
Pedraza.
See,
my little Puerto Rican
that's what I'm about to say. Checkmate, you give it to me every time. You want Hispanic? You know what I'm saying? You do Great Britain, you do Australia, and now it's Espanol. Man, you know them all, man. Yes.
Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy, man.
But,
oh man. Go ahead, checkmate.
I just feel like his skill when Tank beat him, you wasn't really high on Pedraza. You really know that much about him, right? So when Tank beat him, he beat an undefeated champion. You know what I mean? But would Pedraza beat Mario Barrios?
Probably not. I don't know about now, but not then. Yeah.
All right. So when I look at this, and I'm looking at would Pedraza beat Cruz? So when I'm looking at these fights, especially Leo Santa Cruz has been continuous champ since 2012. Y'all can't take that away from that man. Stop it. You can't take that away from him. And only the Tank haters like, oh, Leo's not this. Leo is a Hall of Fame, sir. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a four division. He could have had 3 divisions, but the fact of the matter, he's a 4 division, 5-time champ. But the thing about it, he's still holding records in boxing right now as the #1 punches thrown, #1 punches landed. He's number 2 in punches landed with 85 per round. So the man is still doing his thing. I love Leo Santa Cruz. I've been a Leo Santa Cruz fan, but I just noticed everybody associated with Tank, they will minimize that situation. And the only reason why they hype up Pedraza is though this is Tank best win. He's no, he's not the most skilled guy Tank fought, whatever the case may be, but they say it because he gave Loma so much trouble. If he had never fought Loma, no one would talk about Pedraza. You know what I mean? Just like again, and this is my whole thing. Give people their just due. You don't have to hate on another fighter, you know what I mean, to build someone else up. Tank is a pound for pound fighter. I don't care what your lists say. If your list don't got Tank on pound for pound, then your list is ass and it's trash. Okay? Now, we're talking about styles. We're talking about skill sets. We're talking about Tank got it all. If Tank wasn't 5'5", if Tank was 5'8", nobody would be calling him out. But the fact that everybody sees this little tiny 5'5" guy, I can take him. I got the advantage. I got the height and read advantage. You know what I mean? Ryan, all these people go calling him out. So what is your built-in excuse when Tank sleeps Ryan? Because I guarantee you Tank will knock out Ryan. What are you going to say now? Ryan wasn't ready. He's going through some mental situations right now. He just wasn't prepared. Oh, he wasn't that good anyway. They're going to minimize that fight. See, you got.
Well, let me ask both of y'all guys something real fast. Steph, give me who you want to see Tank Davis fight next, because we hear in December, and those are just rumors. I haven't heard nothing concrete, but I do want to discuss this. Who do we want to see Tank Davis fight next?
I'm being real funny when I say this, but I would like to see him fight Devin Haney. But if not, Michelle Rivera is fine. But I'm not gonna lie to you, gentlemen. I've been saying this on pretty much every time this questions, or pretty much since the Devin Haney stuff has started. Look, man, he's gonna fight someone in the PBC stable, more than likely with a Hispanic last name, most likely. But I'm cool with it because there's really good talent in the PBC stable right now. People just don't want to admit that. So, like, I'm cool. I'm cool. Like, I'm cool with that. But those top two, Devin Haney, Michelle Rivera. Why? Because those are legitimate foes and legitimate people who can fight.
All right. Checkmate. Who you want to see him fight next?
If I had my dream lineup of Tank fights, if I can just wipe the slate clean right now, I want him to decapitate Loma. I need him because of the artificial, propaganda artificial anointing that they did with Loma. I need Tank to just give him that third loss, whatever the case may be, and then Devin Haney. Okay. So that's the way I would see it. Now, obviously, those fights are probably unlikely, but people keep saying that, Tank is only going to fight in-house fighters, but they've been trying to make the Ryan fight. They were talking about Floyd had said he spoke to the people over there to make the Loma fight. It was Loma who, after he lost to Tio, they never called Tank out again. So you can't blame Tank and don't say, Tank is going to fight other people, but they're making the calls. He's in the driver's seat. He could fight who he wants, and you still gonna go. I don't care if he fight the trash man. I'm watching. Just like we watched Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson was knocking out people in 30 seconds, we didn't care who he fight. It was the Mike Tyson show. It was a reason to have a fight party and everything else. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, you want to go ahead and judge Tank for doing what he does, and all he do is fight who they put in the ring with him. Tank has never made a fight. He doesn't make fights. The 99% of the fighters don't make their fights or call their shots like that. And so give the man his prop. Don't say Tank has ever ducked anybody. He's never ducked anybody. He doesn't line his fights up. If you want to be mad at his promoters, be mad at his promoters. The one thing I will say about this, the promotional situation is Devin Haney is undisputed. Congratulations, right? He beat Kambosos. He didn't clear division, so that means he still got to see Tank in order to establish supremacy at 135. You can't call yourself the king of division when you only beat Kambosos, who was never a top 5. You know what I mean? So, with that said, you know, I want Tank to go ahead and get these legendary fights. But I need him to get those legendary fights. I don't want it just to be about the money. Yeah, I want him to collect the belt. They saying the belts don't mean nothing. Well, get the belts and then let him go. But at least get him. Put yourself in the record books. You know what I mean? So if I can get Loma next, that will be my dream fight for Tank. And then Devin.
Yeah. I want to see Tank Davis versus Keith Thurman.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to see that.
Came out of left field with
December,
that one.
whatever.
Yeah, I'm down
Tank
for that.
Davis versus one time Keith Thurman. Because I really think, first of all, we think that Tank Davis is a superstar. Let him knock out Keith Thurman.
Man,
He's a superstar of epic proportions in boxing now. If he can knock out, because listen, that's the Manny Pacquiao route. And I keep telling people, smaller guys can do good against bigger guys. If they got power and speed like Tank Davis, man, he could go in there and really do a number on Keith Thurman. This ain't Keith Thurman from 4 years ago. I'm just saying that, you know, I would love that even over the Devin Haney situation. To me, he would get so much more love out of a knockout of Keith Thurman that even
that's hilarious.
beating Devin Haney. I would love it. Because
you know what?
Because then the detractors, no one can say nothing. Nothing. But y'all go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh man, I got food in my mouth.
Sorry.
At one point, that was a real fight. What was that? Summer of 2020. No. Last year, so summer 21. Yeah, summer 21.
Mm-hmm.
That was a real fight, man. Just Keith didn't want it in the end. How do I know that? I got to talk to Calvin Ford and Coach Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very, very serious. But for whatever reason, the money didn't add up, which is surprising. I just think probably Keith wanted more for the knockout.
That's all.
Because I think like you, Tank will clip him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what type of superstar does that make him? Am I off my rocker?
Dude, if he does that, put him number one, man, on everyone's pound for pound list, man.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something. That's a fight right there. That is a fight. Also, man,
real fast. I wanted to get this off real fast.
Go ahead.
Because we were talking about Cruz for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
See, yeah, I maybe even said it earlier. What they're doing with Cruz is what they're doing with Andy. That's why. I did say that. Yeah, they're trying to push that. But hey, you know, now I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna be real consistent with you, because I'm gonna give them their just due as well. Look, man, the PBC and let's just say Showtime, or I don't even want to say Showtime, but I do for this instance. They know what they're doing, man. They know how to get a return on their investment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to knock it, even though I do knock it sometimes. But I'm in agreements and in accordance right there along with the whole thing. So if they want to push Isaac Cruz and Andy Ruiz like that, the way they are, and build these Mexican stars, please do. But what's crazy is they will, even though they're showcasing them, they will give them some smoke, especially like Andy and Isaac.
Yeah, they got to get it.
Yeah, they got to get it. So that's what's up. That's what's up.
And also I want to touch on this one little subject before we get off. Michael Fox is going to fight Mean Machine on October the 15th, right? It's going to be on the
Yeah.
wilder card, I believe. What y'all thoughts on that?
Go ahead, check.
Got robbed his last fight out in Minnesota. How do you feel he gonna perform against the Mean Machine?
I'm gonna have to punt that ball to you, Steph. I don't really. Mean Machine. The first time I ever heard of him was Crawford. So I don't really, I don't rate him like that. I since it's the fights I've seen, rugged guy, but not that skillful. Michael Fox, I've seen the fight that he won that he got robbed, but so I'll just have to, watch it. So
all right, we punting the ball to you, Steph. What you think?
I'm excited for him. I kind of talk to Michael on the daily. It's been a while, but I used to talk to him on the weekly via the Twitter Spaces. So big fan of him. He's in an awkward place, man, because he's like a 6 foot something welterweight. So it's hard to match him. Yeah, that's tall. It's hard to match him in good matchups for him. I had something earlier because it was a fantasy matchup. Gosh, who was it? It was I wanted Michael Fox to face. You know what? How about Michael Fox
and from Minnesota?
No. Michael Fox and Ryan Garcia. That's who I kind of wanted. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. But yeah, happy for the brother. Happy for him. He'll go and get the W. I got him winning.
And that's something now. Mean Machine and left the Top Rank stable and went over there and got beat up by Ortiz. They put Ortiz on his back. Now he over there and gonna get a little bit of the PBC smoke. Hey, you gotta commend the guy. He loved going get smoked and get smoked at the same time. Definitely. So look, if we had a crystal ball, this is just a question I gotta ask. Crystal ball, man, what fight do we want to see that's not made yet?
Spence Crawford.
Besides Spence Crawford. We know that. That's a gimme. We want that. Oh, by the way, while we on that, checkmate, I want Steph to tell us how negotiations going there, Steph.
No.
Is there anything imminent on the horizon?
Nothing new, man. You see, this far now, I think Bud's just trying to wait him out, man, and wait till he moves up. Talk about fearing my own opinion, man. I said from the beginning, this guy don't want to fight him. It's a little unfortunate, but he doesn't want to fight him. He just doesn't. So I'll stick with that. And but hey, let my Twitter friends tell it. They got dates. They got a barbecue plan.
I heard them. Some talking about hotel rooms.
Yeah, no, they got the hotel rooms. I hope they're right. I want them to be right. I hope. But if you heard me before you got out of there, I was like, look, we say this is a big fight. You and I, the fans, we say it's a big fight for all the reasons, for all the marbles, for all the money. It's big money. But the people who are putting the show on, the people who are campaigning, the people who are going to sign the checks for both of these fighters and everyone on the cards and everyone else in between, they say it's not a big fight. So like I was giving Cruz and Andy, they're just look, man, these guys know what they're doing. And I'm not fixing to be acting like I know better than them in any given time. It's just not going to fly at me because for one, I'm familiar with forget the entities, meaning PBC and Top Rank. For one, how the pay-per-view model is set up and why it even exists, because we, the fans, give a dang. We pay the money. They promote it. They let us know. They not trick us, but they get us to put our money down. So just because one guy brings it all and one guy doesn't, I'm supposed to just negate all that and tell the guy who can't do it, his adversaries to pay up, everything's supposed to be hunky dory after that. I'm not going to disrespect how we got here. That's why I'll continue to be adamant that way. So until I hear Errol and Terrence and Derek and Bomac and Steven Espinoza say we got a fight on our hands, I'm with it. But everything else is just at this point. Yeah, they reaching, man. I'm telling you, reaching. Checkmate, if you're in that space, man. If you were in that space, man. Oof.
No, I haven't done spaces. My phone won't allow me to really connect to spaces like that. It freezes me up. But I will say I'm disappointed in Crawford for not accepting the fight that he said that he wanted more than anything. Devin Haney took a pay cut to get what he wanted more than anything. And now he can write his own ticket. Okay. So I just feel like sometimes I think Showtime, there's no reason why they can't give them a $20 million guarantee on this fight. If they got to take a little loss on this, whatever the case may be, but I just think this fight would be worth it. I would love for them to get $10 million each guaranteed, whatever the case may be. But if they feel like that's not there for them, then hey, who are we we're not the ones that's paying it. And Crawford doesn't have a choice. He's burnt his bridges with Top Rank. They were paying him $5 million a year. I mean, $5 million per fight, excuse me. And devalued his career and sabotaged his career. And all of a sudden he wants to get gangster and tough, with Al Heyman.
But,
you know what I mean?
What's funny though, Checkmate, is he didn't ask them for all that money, but he's asking them for all of the money. That's what's crazy to me, man.
That's my point. So you didn't get gangster with Bob Arum, you know what I mean? But you're getting gangster with Al Heyman. I ain't gonna get the fight because I know this is what you want. Now, I don't understand it, because if Manny Pacquiao, if he was fighting Manny Pacquiao, he'll take whatever Manny told him to take. If Manny told him you're gonna give $5 million guarantee, it wouldn't be no 50-50 talk. Man. It wouldn't be nothing. Remember, he was like, I want Pacquiao next. I want Pacquiao. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? Now was with Spence. Oh, we're going to wait. Now we all silent. We ain't talking. Why you not talking in the media? Why you ain't telling everybody? Why are you not telling everybody? All this radio silence is nothing. But I like Terrence Crawford as a fighter. I don't think he's better than Earl. But it's no reason why this fight should not be happening. Because if something doesn't kick off next, Earl needs to move on, fight somebody else in November. Earl needs to keep steady, keep busy. He's coming off the accident. He's coming off the eye surgery. He needs to keep his form up so he can be in maximum peak. You know what I'm saying? So do not allow Crawford to push you off your game. You know what I mean? This fight needs to happen this year. That's it. I got money on the line. I got to pay people if it don't happen, because I promise it will happen. You know what I mean? I need yeah. So, but either way, I need to happen. But you know what? Before we from that point, I do want to talk. I mentioned earlier about Usyk being overrated. That's very important.
Go ahead, man. And look, Checkmate, let this be your last remarks. Go ahead and shoot on Usyk. Sir. And then I'll give you your chance, Steph.
Okay. Usyk, they keep saying he's number one pound for pound, right? First of all, he's a heavyweight, so that eliminates him from there. Secondly, he's fought subpar competition at heavyweight, and he struggled in all of them, even against Witherspoon. Witherspoon was getting in, you know what I mean? And he barely beat Chisora, which could have been a draw or could Chisora win. Chisora actually beat him worse than AJ did. You know what I'm saying? Will perform better than AJ. And then, of course, he's fighting a two-loss AJ, who's Andy Ruiz destroyed. No one said Andy Ruiz was pound for pound off that win. So just pump your brakes. Usyk is a good fighter. He's not great. He's not defensively responsible. That's the reason why he got the Thriller face. I don't know if you saw the video I put out with Michael Jackson Thriller and the Usyk face.
Oh, check it out.
Jules, did you see it, Jules?
I saw that.
Yeah. So the thing about it is he's not defensively responsible. He throws a lot of arm punches, You know what I mean? That doesn't really show a lot of skill. He moves his shoulders, but his head is always on a straight line. Which this is the reason why his eyes are constantly getting raccooned. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with that said, you can't, just because he beat AJ, who was not the number one heavyweight fighter, you can't say this guy, he's not better. He does not have better skills than Tank. He does not have better skills than Earl. He does not have better skills than Crawford. He does not have better skills than Jamel Charlo. He does not have better skills than a lot of these. I don't think he's got.
But hold on, checkmate. I gotta play devil's advocate.
Of course,
he beat a lot of them European cruiserweight we ain't never heard of. That gotta rate him, right?
And wait, real fast, check. Let me get him, bro. He came down from heavyweight,
right?
Oh my goodness! Like this guy, he's a natural heavyweight. Right. Came down to cruiserweight and beat a bunch of cruiserweights. Who cares? That's why no one cared about his undisputed.
I want y'all to watch him again. I want you to reevaluate his skills based on what I'm telling you. When I say he throws arm punches, there's not a lot of starch on him. He throws a lot of his punches with his feet squared up, which doesn't give him leverage. So does he move his arms a lot? Yes, he does. Does he throw a lot of punches? Yes, he does. But there is not in a skillful manner. And I don't see that skill. I don't see that elite skill. Is he winning? Yes, congratulations. I picked him to beat AJ, so I'm not surprised. But guess what? AJ almost had him knocked out several times during that fight. So you can't call this guy an elite fighter when he's that defensive irresponsible. And again, he's getting tagged up where he's getting the thriller face, you know what I mean? The panda eyes. You just cannot put him above Earl. You can't, because Earl has had better competition. You know what I mean? You cannot do that. Jamel Charlo knocked out every single champion for the belt to become undisputed. You cannot put him above Jamel Charlo. Okay? He doesn't have better skills than Devin Haney. You know what I mean? And I'm going to say it again. He does not have better skills than Tank Davis. So how is he pound for pound number one? It doesn't make any sense. The only thing it makes sense for is these propaganda artificially anointed people who want their great white hope. That's it. Let them earn it. But to me, like I said, when it comes to the skills, you know what I mean? I do not rate him as a top 10 skill set. You know, I can name 10 fighters who has better skills than him. Okay, so therefore, it's impossible for him to be a pound for pound. Like you said, Julius, he went and beat cruiserweights that you never even heard of today. Who are they? Where are they doing? When the last time you seen them fight on TV? When the last time you asked for one of their fights? Are they selling out gates? Are they doing, great numbers? Who are they? You don't know them. But you want to go ahead and put him, and then all of a sudden you don't want Jamel Charlo on your list. You know what I mean? You don't want Devin Haney on your list. Now, all undisputeds aren't created equal. Like I said, Devin Haney beat a guy who wasn't a top 5 at 135 to me, but he still deserves to be. He's pound for pound. Is not better than Jamel Charlo. Jamel Charlo, to me, I don't care what anybody says. Jamel Charlo has earned the right to say that he's a top 2 pound for pound. He cleared out a division. You know what Canelo did? He was a Sparta sitting champ for a vacant WBC to sidestep and skip and duck the number 1 WBC fighter, David Benavidez. He did not clear a division. Okay, so with that said, I don't give him that much props for going through his Eurobum tour. You know what I mean? So my point is this, and I land my plane here. Usyk is a good fighter. Stop saying he's a great fighter, because nothing about his skill sets or his performances. Derek Chisora landed over 180 punches on this dude. Enough said. Checkmate.
Well, look, checkmate. Let me add something on to you. And brother, you've been smoking tonight, but let me add on something to you. When you was talking about AJ, the young lady that we had that talk with, I ended up getting in a conversation with her on Nika's show the other night. So I was thinking about you the whole time while she was talking, and it was real interesting, man.
All the ladies like AJ. Like it.
No. I just told her that she loved Eddie Hearn, the Hearns, and that was basically it. You know what I'm saying? And we was just talking boxing.
What?
You know.
So what happened though? What happened with when y'all discussed the fact that AJ lost and had a meltdown?
Oh,
How did she
nothing.
take it?
She didn't want to discuss it. She jumped on. After
I never do.
on
Checkmate, they
after.
never do.
No,
I
she
never
didn't
do.
want. No,
How
we
you
wasn't
go?
talking about that. No, she jumped on.
When I say
after
AJ
all
was
that.
overrated, I said what I said after the fight. I said AJ is who we said he was. A
The hype
big
job.
slow bot, a big slow robot, a slow bot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He thinks too much. He's not a fluid fighter. He's 1-2, or he say, do me a hook there. You know what I mean? But he is not a fluid fighter. He's good when he's against subpar competition, yes. But a guy, listen, and I'm gonna say this, and I know you said he was going to close it up. But what's the guy? I made it. I remember I tweeted it, and you didn't agree. What is his name? The heavyweight. Big Baby. What's his name? Baby
Anderson.
no,
Jared
yeah.
Anderson.
Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson is so skilled because he fights like a middleweight. I don't think he's ready yet, but I look at the skill. Give him 3 fights, this guy, you know what I mean? He's going to get sharper. You know what I mean? I don't want to see him in a title fight yet, but when I see in his skill, he beats AJ. He beats Usyk. Andy Ruiz beats Usyk. You know what I mean? Will beat AJ again. You know what I'm saying? So these guys, when we talk about skill, they ignore the real skill set. They just want to artificially annoy. So I just wanted to say that about Anderson, because I know we had a situation in the, well, not a situation. You responded to my tweet, Julius, and said that we seen that out of you said we seen that out of Riddick Bowe, and we seen that out of Lennox Lewis. And I said, well, Riddick Bowe was a good boxer, but they just have different skill sets. You know what I mean? And I like Jared Anderson. I was shocked how fluid he is. You know what I mean? How effortless it is. I'm not even talking about his power.
Checkmate.
Yes, sir.
Question for you, sir. What's Riddick Bowe's best win, or 2 best wins, if you can think off the top of your head? And the reason why I'm asking is because I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Holyfield.
What'd you say?
I said I asked because I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'll let you.
Well, Holyfield, I can't think of another one at this point, but I just know
He fought Holyfield twice
very
too, right?
fluid skills. You know, he
Right.
fought. Holyfield was the Tyson Fury before Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? They say Tyson Fury tried to fight like Ali. He's nowhere near Ali. You know what I mean? But his style was similar to Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe was a better boxer than Tyson Fury. But go ahead.
No, I was saying that he beat Holyfield twice, didn't he?
Yes, and he did beat Holyfield twice. He also had a pretty decent win against Larry Donald, because he beat Larry Donald when he was undefeated. Julio Gonzalez, who was like he was like Luis Ortiz before Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Mean guy. A Cuban cowboy, always wore a cowboy hat, was like
Nice.
one of the great Cuban amateurs ever, one of those Lomachenko type records. And you know what Riddick Bowe did to him? Took him right in the ring and spanked him, knocked him out within a couple rounds, knocked him down 4 or 5 times, and after knocking him out, also talk trash to him. Did the Jamal Charlo before Jamal Charlo? You know, no love. Showed him no love. But also Razor Ruddock. So he has some good wins, man.
For sure,
But,
for sure.
But not very disciplined though.
Okay. I'll remember that when I'm watching them. Julius, thanks for having me, man. It's good to recap a couple of nights ago. What's on par? I guess the DAZN Canelo Triple G, right, coming up. And of course, football season kicks off.
Oh, Saturday. Hold on a second. We gotta make a prediction before you go. Saturday night, we got the all women's card. Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, Alicia Baumgartner and Mayer. Just take a couple minutes, y'all. Pick your winner.
I got Shields and I got Mayer. I got Shields. I am worried about her. I'm worried about Shields getting robbed. I really am. I really, really am. It's to me, that fight's been hyped like that. Well, yeah, we're gonna rob her. We're gonna rob her no matter what. So I am worried about that. But she's gonna go in there and probably spank that girl. But they gonna rob her. But I got her winning. And then Mayer, I just think Mayer's a better boxer. I just trust the boxer in this. I have not seen enough Alicia Baumgartner. And then I definitely haven't seen enough of her to be the way she's been talking smack to Mayer. But that comes with the package, right? That comes with the package. And then, you know, gentlemen, I'm not really high on women's boxing, not because I don't like it. It's a little bit much for me. I'm just like, man, I can't be watching these women beat up on each other. I'm good. Right. That's just me though. But enjoy. And then I'll be quick. So yeah, thanks for having me on the show, bud. Can't wait for the next one. And I too, I like Usyk a lot. He's good, not great, and I will go to the grave with that, man. This guy is an actual heavyweight who came down and beat a bunch of nobodies. I hate to phrase it that way because, you know, some good cruiserweights, but, you know, ask where they at today. 3 out of the 4, I think, are at heavyweight now. Or at least 2 out of the 3.
You've been saying that the guys are heavyweight coming down. Right.
So, but we still don't know who they are. They're still not talking about.
That's true. That's
you ever
true.
seen when the last time you saw one of his victims fight? When the last time?
The last one retired, and
are they going to be
Sariel...
fighting on Triller? They fighting on Triller?
Oh man! And real fast, I'll stick it in, man. I hope the Marv Nation don't come out to be like Triller's situation with Zepeda and Program.
You've been on that the whole time.
Yeah. They gonna watch it. They gonna keep postponing it. Watch this. It's already been at least 20 days, 14 days, probably 20 days.
You ain't heard nothing. Where's the date, right?
Into the 90 days of being already, you know, they were 40. So here we go, man. Haven't heard none from the fighters themselves because they probably like, who is this? But okay. All right. But yeah, go ahead, Julius. Or Check. I think he wanted to give his odds as well.
Check. Go ahead. Make your prediction.
I got the GWOAT. I'm riding with the GWOAT. She snatched her soul the other day on the TV. She scolded her like my mother used to scold me. She gave her that look. Oh, you should be. When if I didn't, you know, if I got a bad score in school,
she said, "You
remind me of my mother." What are you doing getting a C? You don't, I'm telling you, it reminded me of my mother scolding me, that look on her face and that tone. You should be disappointed.
Is that what she said? Is that what she
said? I put a video out. I'll send you the video that I did a little edit on it. You know what I mean? Add a little spice to it. But it was so, and she was dialing. She was so solid that pregnant pause, and then when she did that, and I put a little gulp on that because I had to emphasize that gulp that wasn't there. So I had to make sure y'all heard this gulp at the end. She snatched her soul. You let your whole country down. You should be.
Ooh.
You should be disappointed.
She said that.
Now go clean your room.
Right, yeah. Go get in order. Go get in order. Clean the room. You can remember your life,
ma'am.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So that's me. I'm going with GWOAT. The only Serrano got robbed. We know she got robbed. But GWOAT, I'm going with GWOAT. That's it.
They better not rob her, Chad. They gonna try though. Watch this. They gonna try. I like the moment I saw this finally get announced, I was like, oh man, they gonna and it's, like I said, just the hype behind it did it leaves me in an eerie feeling and like a sleepy hollow, like, ooh, let's not go down there. You don't know what's gonna happen. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
Well, you know they
Is
already
it
got at least
pay-per-view,
one
right?
British judge.
Is it pay-per-view?
ESPN. I'm not for sure if it's ESPN Plus or if it's gonna be the regular ESPN. I need to look that up. Do some investigating on that.
And again, Mayer is on the undercard, or they had their own fight.
No, they're the undercard.
Oh, okay, wow.
Shields and Savannah Marshall is the main event.
Okay.
And what else is there? Other fights that are is there any decent fights that's supposed to happen this weekend?
Well,
talk about?
No, I think the next fight is like, okay, in a couple weeks we got
Triple G.
Triple G is coming up.
Canelo.
Canelo.
I want him to beat Canelo. I know it could be difficult for the old man, but
he's old. He's old.
I'm sick of the Canelo bandwagoners, and I'm sick of these people just clogging up these divisions. I need Canelo to lose so we can go ahead and get the good fights.
It's a voluntary defense. He won't though, Check. I think he's too old, sir. Like he's really like 45. He's like,
yeah.
You seen Triple G? He might even be older than that, man. He pretty old. For me, honestly, I'm looking at it like, oh man, this is what it should have looked like the first two times, because Triple G has been cutting weight for years, his whole career. You know, he's truthfully a 68-pounder, and really a Bivol, like a small 75-pounder, because he's been cutting that much weight for all these years, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, he's been holding that weight forever. The fight comes on at 5:30 on ESPN Plus. 5:30 on ESPN Plus. All right. So.
Right. 5:30. Okay.
Yeah, ESPN Plus. So.
Okay.
Check them out. I'm gonna go with Mayer. I think she's gonna win a decision. I think it's gonna be highly contested. I wouldn't be shocked if both of them got up off the floor, but I got her winning. And I definitely got Shields beating up Marshall. I think it may be competitive at times, but I think her speed and Clarissa got to use it. Now, the one thing I don't like that sometimes Clarissa does is she slaps. But if she could just stay tight, use her jab, get in and get out, she shouldn't have much of a problem because that girl is slow. So you got to use your speed. But I'm like, hey, that's why they got to get in the ring, because anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Also, too, Jules, when she wins, man, I really hope, and I'm challenging myself because I need to do better, because I already came out and said I don't really pay attention to women's boxing that much. But also, too, man, after the GOAT wins, I hope we all get behind this young lady, because she rocks with everyone else, but she's always alone, man. It's true. Like no one talks. No, I'm talking about the other boxers and whatnot. They don't even. If you corner them in an interview, then yeah, but like not out openly and rep her. So I hope we get behind her after she puts away Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be nice. That'd be good.
But look, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on tonight, man. This was short notice because I had to watch the tennis match. Unfortunately, Coco lost tonight, but she's 18, so she'll be back. She's
18? Wow.
She's only 18.
Wow.
So she got plenty of days. She lost the
Who's the brother who beat Nadal the other day?
From Maryland, Silver Springs, Maryland, Francis Tiafoe. The brother beat Rafael Nadal yesterday. He's in the quarterfinals against Rublev. I'll be watching that tomorrow night. But look, Steph, I'm going to tell you the truth, man. I'm in a talking mood this week. So I'm going to probably do a show on Friday, Thursday or Friday, or both. Who knows?
No, do the night of, because I'm gonna watch that one. That's why I asked one, because Nadal was sick. Nadal was sick. He didn't want to shake that man's hand.
Yeah,
He was
and you know,
thick.
and that was crazy because Tiafo, you could tell the respect. You got to the man got 22 majors. That's
Right.
just like if you beat a 22-time boxing champion, you're gonna
Right.
come and hug him because you probably looked up to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what happened because Nadal 36 now. That's gonna happen more often. He's gonna get that butt chopped. And but it was a competitive, good match. I was happy for Tiafoe. I hope that he didn't burn it himself out yesterday because I want him to bring it again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because think about this. Since Arthur Ashe, before I was born, definitely before you was born, you younger than me, there hasn't been a black champion in tennis in the men's,
Wow.
yeah. So a black American man has not been one since Arthur Ashe. So
U.S.
that was
Open.
something. Yeah, U.S. Open. So
Wow.
we talking over 50 years. There haven't been a black male champion, a black American male champion in a major tournament. And so this is the closest that anyone has got. Hopefully he'll keep going, man. Like that's now we can talk race on something because that's historical right there. You know what I'm saying? For a sport that's not even a predominantly black sport at all to get that close. So, you know, hoping that he can do that.
I'm rooting then. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna root for him too. So let's see that. That's tomorrow. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna be doing the show on Friday, man. I'm in a talking mood. So look, man, thank y'all. Thank everybody, man. This was part 2. So we went 5 hours between part 1 and part 2, man. So I'm happy about that.
That's
and
good.
Thank y'all, man.
There's still plenty more to go about. So
Hey,
yeah,
we could talk an hour more. But we're gonna go ahead, man. Look, take care. Have a good day. Rest of your week. All right, brother.
Yes, sir. You too. I'll talk to you soon,
All right.
brother. Get some rest.
All right. Thank you.